Hello, somebody. It's Joel with Godwin Realty, and you're now tuned in to Inside the Trenches on ESPN New Orleans.
Well, welcome back. Welcome back. It's Inside the Trenches. I got Mike and Tarek in there with the groovy jams, baby. That's what I'm talking about right there. We smooth. And this segment is brought to you guys by Conquer Sports. Conquer Sports, 600 St. Joseph Street, right there in Harvey, Louisiana. We have softball training, O-line and D-line training, any sports consultation you need. Be sure to hit up Conquer Sports. The best way of getting in contact with us over there is going directly to our Instagram or Twitter at Conquer Sports Pros. Looking forward to hollering at you, baby. Well, it's Inside the Trenches, and y'all know how we do it around this time, man. It's the off season. It's excitement in basketball right now. The Olympics is this summer, but this is in true Inside the Trenches form. I'm happy today, right? Because I'm joined by Dr. Kendra Andrus. She's a sports nutritionist. She helps with health and wellness overall. Just an amazing job. Y'all be sure to follow her at health.nut. That's NUTT1. Again, at health.nut1 on X and all your social media platforms. Dr. Kendra, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me here today. Thank you so much.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Before we got on air, me and Dr. Kendra was just talking about sports training in general, right? Just the basic stuff. I'm telling her some of the stuff we're going through with Conquer, training the athletes, getting ready for the off season. But it made me think back to when I was a teenager, and even now in my adult years, which is crazy. Like, I eat better now than I did when I was younger,
Yes.
but was in a better shape. But, that's age. It comes with age. But one of the things I talked to her about first was hydration for athletes. Now, we'll drink some water. We will definitely gulp down like Gatorade, Powerade. But from a nutrition standpoint, in terms of putting the right nutrients in your body, what are some hydration tips you have for us?
Well, definitely, like you said, Marlon, drinking the water, but also we want to get our blood oxygenated. So we want to make sure that we're eating those green leafy vegetables so that we can have the oxygen flowing through the blood. We also want to make sure that we're eating the appropriate fruit also, what have you. So lemons keep you hydrated, lemon water, watermelon, things like that, pineapples, getting your natural sugars instead of the fake sugars or the sugars that are not so good for your body.
Right. And look, Doc, we're out there sometimes 5:30 in the morning, which is cooler temperatures. The sun is not all the way out. Sometimes we'll find ourselves closer to noon when it's hotter like that. And let's say, for instance, I got up that morning. I didn't get a workout in, but I, just ate my breakfast. My breakfast was some of the fruits you're talking about, like watermelon, pineapple, to keep that hydration high, but to not feel super full. Because that's one, I hate to say it, Doc, but most of the time when I train in the morning, I skip breakfast. I do, but lately I've been adding the fruit in just a little bit. But what are some solid foods you can put on your body the way you don't feel so weighted, but your hydration is still up?
Yeah, so another thing too is you can do ginger. Have you ever heard of ginger root?
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of athletes, you guys drink a lot of water, so you might get the bloating or the flatulence or the gas. So the ginger will help with your intestinal tract, keeping it warm, keeping it soothed, keeping you feeling the way you need to feel, where you won't feel so bloated from drinking the water. So ginger is a very, very good herb, or a good Ayurvedic herb to take when you're out there as well.
Okay, I'm going to have to up my ginger then when I get out there in that hot sun. And like you said, it kind of helps you. It almost gives you that full feeling.
Giving you that full feeling and filling up the gut where you won't feel as hungry as well.
All right, that's big time. Like, if y'all just tuning into us, we have Dr. Kendra Andrus here. You can follow her at on X at health.nut. That's NUTT1, the number one. Write it out. Follow her. Great tips. We're just talking right now. It's our Conquer Sports segment, so it's the off-season training. Like, my kids, the players that I train, and my kids. I have, of course, 3 boys. Little Titan, he just run around. He just needs to go run track. He's 5. But Marlon's playing summer baseball. Kentrell's getting his summer off-season conditioning. So he's the main one. He's the one in college. So I hope he's listening right now as well, because this is really good tidbits for hydration. Now, This show is called Inside the Trenches for a reason. We the big men up front on the defensive line and offensive line, so I do dedicate this show to the guys that play the position I played and across the line from us. We big dudes.
Yes.
We like to utilize. One thing I do like about the summer doc, and I remember back to my summer training with Coach Moffitt back at LSU, I really enjoy burning the fat. Like I used to like when we used to run the 110s, like I get on the scale on purpose, see where I'm at, and then running 110s, I'm like, oh man, I just lost 7 pounds. A lot of that was water weight.
Yeah.
But in terms of burning fat the right way and building muscles the right way, what are some foods that we can get into?
Peppers are really good for burning fat, believe it or not.
Come on.
Cayenne pepper, black pepper, paprika, which is an alternative for individuals that cannot tolerate the cayenne pepper. Those burn a lot of fat. Yes, it's absolutely amazing to burn fat and get that gut where it needs to be. Yeah, pepper.
That makes sense because sometimes I will go Taco Tuesdays, we'll go in and I would put a little pepper on my nachos. Now, it's not the best thing, the cheese and chips and all of that stuff, but that pepper, you start sweating a little bit, but to your point, that's probably why you're sweating, you're burning.
Exactly, Marlon, and it speeds up the metabolism, and that's what you want.
That's big time. All right, building muscle. Some guys that are on the line, and this talks to the mid skill positions. This talk to that's like your linebackers, your running backs, but this also talks to some of the skill positions, your wide receivers, your DBs. Those are the guys that really, those are the guys.
The big guys.
They're not super big. So like your defensive backs, they're like between 185 and 210, whereas you'll have your mid-skill guys, they're between like I would say 30 to 245. And then once you're over like 245, really 260, then you're considered big skill. Like, I mean, I was 300s when I played.
Oh my God.
So it's a different deal. For us, it's building muscle but burning fat. So that's the peppers and, you know, the paprikas like you're talking about. But for like the smaller guys, we'll go outside the trenches for a while. What are some foods they can have or some vitamins or any type of nutrients they can have to build the muscle?
Well, I'll tell you this. I work with a lot of herbs, Marlon, and I would suggest or recommend Rhodiola rosea.
Okay.
Yes. Oh my God. It builds stamina. It gives you that strength and that endurance. It revs you up to kind of go that extra mile. That's a great herb to have. The maca, also the saw palmetto, because you guys also need to make sure that your testosterone levels are where they need to be,
true.
Which is that male hormone. So yeah, those like the saw palmetto, the rhodiola rosea, the maca, which is a superfood. You're getting a lot of antioxidants and vitamins and nutrients. So that's a really good one as well. Yeah,
I know y'all driving, but I hope y'all taking notes because this isn't just for athletes. I know this is a sports show and we focus on that, but this is just for your everyday people. Like that's trying to, you know, you have your novice trainees, should I say, that go out and they have trainers, or you have your novice person that just wants the Planet Fitness membership and they go out and get their workouts. Well, here's some of the food you can eat to while you're working out can build those muscles because we have that down pat, Doc. We're able to, like I have some players that train 2 times a week. I have some players that train 4 times a week.
Okay.
But what I notice, and I tell them even when they're not with me, still give yourself at least 30 minutes of conditioning. That's on that end. But the parts that you're hitting on right now is what we're missing. We're missing what are those little tidbits. Like I didn't think about paprika as a fat burner like that.
Yes.
Now, another piece that we look at, in sports, a lot of injuries happen, whether they're minor injuries or major injuries. It's always that bounce back. Another piece we get right, we're good with the physical therapists. They're nursing us back to our health. When in terms of foods and vitamins, what are some suggestions to for pain?
So arginine is very good for circulation. Ginkgo bibliola.
Okay. I never heard of that.
It's also an herb for circulation. For injuries, for individuals that have had injuries or trauma or strokes of that nature. So it gets the circulation going back in the body. That's a very, very go-to herb that you can't really feel that you're taking, but it makes a world of difference in your body.
That's big time right there. That's something cool to know because when, let's say for instance, for me, I had knee surgery on my left knee. I had tore my lateral meniscus. So I had the surgery. LSU did a great job at bouncing me back to better health, but that would have been a perfect opportunity because having that surgery, I just lost weight naturally because, not necessarily about curbing my diet, but I couldn't really build the muscles like I wanted to because I wasn't working out like that. But to know that in these different food groups and the different things that we could take for even like ankle, like just when you go back to training itself, like you go through different injuries, like little small stuff, like you feel bruised up, but because we're just getting back into it. But that's some cool notes. Lastly here, Doc, and this is because we had a quarterback here, James. He had the LASIK surgery. James is in Cleveland now for vision. I mean, a lot of these games, these high school kids, and even us on the pro level, we're playing at night. What's a good vitamin for vision?
So bilberry is another herb that you can take for your eyes. Vitamin A is also good for your eyes, of course. Getting that beta carotene in with those green leafy vegetables. All of those are good for your eyes, for your eye health.
That's big time right there. See, I'm rocking these glasses. I'm a little nearsighted, but on the field, I don't, even now when I'm just running around, I have to see, but I don't really want to have to deal with wearing my glasses. I don't want to be out there like Horace Grant with the goggles on because that's how I have to do it because my eyes just don't want to take the contacts. My wife teases me about that all the time. Well, she is Dr. Kendra Andrus. Y'all make sure y'all follow her at health.nut1. More information, she can go ahead and let you know all about it, baby. Y'all hit up in the DM, have a little tips and tidbits for y'all right here. Well, y'all don't go anywhere. We got more here. It's Inside the Trenches right here on ESPN New Orleans, baby. Hello, somebody. We'll be back.
Hello, somebody. My name is Dr. Kendra Andrus of Kendraland's Health Nut System, along with my husband, Dr. Dana Andrus. You're now tuned in to Inside the Trenches on ESPN New Orleans, 100.3 FM.